Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm actually going to put up a little music today. Let's see. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gwendolyn Ray, and thank you for joining me today. Hey everyone. So I'm going to do my intro over. Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gwendolyn Ray, and thank you for joining me today. So this is a late stream, but I am trying to be consistent. Actually, I'm not trying. I actually am. This is my third live stream this week, so I'm really proud of myself. But to make a long story short, today I wanted to come to you with some tea. So I decided to bring my tea. So this mug here that I have my tea inside of, I've had this mug for a while, but many of you probably haven't seen it. But this it's actually backwards. Oh no, I don't like that. But it says all I need is mascara and coffee. Even though I have tea in this mug, all I need is mascara and tea today. But the tea that I'm drinking is the Bigelow Benefits, and this is the Looking to Stay Well Everyday Tea. So if you ever seen this box in whatever grocery store you shop in, pick it up because this tea really is good and also helps with your digestive system. So I'm going to be preparing some tea while I talk to you about a post I ran across on Reddit. So if you don't have a Reddit account, you probably should get one. I like Reddit because it's less about pictures and videos and it's more about the actual topic. So that's why I really like Reddit. Not everybody can just go online and just read, but some people, we actually just want to talk about things, talk about subjects that are important to us. So for me on Reddit, I actually joined a Reddit and it's called the Mommet. And it's basically a Reddit portion for moms, for new moms, moms that have been moms for a long time, experienced moms, single moms, married moms, the list goes on. But anyway, to make a long story short, this notification popped up on my screen. If you see me looking over, I'm looking at my computer. And the name of the post was "Husband is over being a dad." And when I read the title, I was sad at first. I gotta be honest. I have to be honest. I actually was. And the reason why is because, of course, I didn't know the entire story. I do know that obviously when people post things on Reddit or Instagram or Facebook or anywhere in general, they're only speaking from their point of view. So I actually wanted to read over the post so I can get a gist of what she was talking about and kind of like think over it in my own mind what the actual situation might be before I would ever give some sort of advice or comment or anything like that. So I actually talked to my husband about this too after I had read it because it was just like, this seems like an easy fix. To me, it does. But maybe it's because I've been with him for a long time. But to me, it was like, I felt like she sacrificed so much that she was just going to lose a lot if she continued on with the patterns that she was going about in this scenario. So I'm gonna get a sip of my tea first before we talk about the tea. Okay. This tea is so good. Oh, that's good. Let me take this spoon out. So I'm probably going to have to put on my glasses because everything's blurry on my screen. And if you want to get this mug, I'll leave the link in the comment section. I'll pin it and no, I'm not going to pin it. I just put it in the description section. To me, that makes more sense. But what I am going to put in the comment section, which I want to pin, is I want to pin this post. So let me do that really quickly. I'm going to pull it up on my channel. So I like that I can like change things on my computer. That's one of the benefits of having a separate camera and using your computer at the same time. I do love that. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. So I'm going to add it in now. Where is the I'm gonna copy this whole thing and put that in there so you can see it all. I'll put it in the description section for this area. And then I'm going to add it. So if you want to follow along, you can actually click on the link and go look at it yourself. But I actually wanted to put it on the screen. So I'm going to see if I can do that. Maybe I can do that too. I don't know. Let's see. Happy New Year's, everyone. I don't even know if I said that to you yet, but Happy New Year's. I'm so happy that we all have made it here together. We are all safe. Our families are doing good from what I know of, And I'm just really happy to be in a new year. Oh, it won't let me put with so much. Let's see. My comment is too long. Oh no, it's too long. Okay, so I did add it as a comment. I wonder if it will let me pin it. Let's see. Probably can't pin it. Let's see. Oh yes, I pinned it. Okay, so it's pinned. Awesome. And I also have it in the description section too. Okay, so I'm gonna drink some more tea and then I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can read. And I know it's really late, so I don't expect anybody to be watching, but I do have another like, so somebody's watching. I don't know who they are, but hello. Leave me a comment, say hi, say who you are. So let me pull this up because I'm moving a little tad bit slow tonight. So, okay, so listen, strap on your shoes and get ready because this is a lot. This is a lot to take in. It's a lot I'm going to read, but I'm going to try to get through it as fast as possible. So just bear with me, okay? It's a lot. So the title is Husband is Over Being a Dad. Not really sure what else to say. My husband works from home and I stay at home with the baby. So 2 things right there that are important is that both of them are in the home basically all day, right? She's a stay-at-home mom, and she doesn't have to work. Those are key components and you have to keep that in mind as you listen to her story. It says, our whole relationship, we've had a reoccurring issue of him not doing anything to help me out. I have the baby from the time I wake up to the time he goes to sleep. Husband works 9 to 5 or 6, gets off, eats dinner, plays video games, or sometimes kind of stands around and watch me do bath time and helps dry him, and then he watches TV. So to me, he sounds like a typical millennial that enjoys watching TV and playing games. That sounds like a lot of guys, honestly. So let's keep going. The baby is almost 11 months and his dad has taken him out on his own once. Okay. They went to Target to pick up a prescription. That is the only time I have been alone in the house for 11 months. I'm having reoccurring outbursts. Do y'all hear that? Outburst. Where I just can't understand why he wouldn't want to spend more time with the baby and help me. I finally had a giant outburst after I left my family's for Christmas. It was so nice to see everyone genuinely happy and interacting with the baby for once. And I felt so sad knowing I was going to go back and just have the baby all by myself all day. Let me just stop saying it like that. My outburst was huge, and my husband has decided he wants a divorce. Ouch. He said he didn't think parenthood was going to be this way. And at least if we get a divorce, he will be able to focus on work without failing everything else. It sucks. You don't really know how someone is as a parent until they become a parent. Not really sure what else to say. So I actually went back to this post today, and she actually has an edit where she adds in more information after her initial post. So when I initially read this is all I read in the beginning. This is it. So to me, my initial thoughts are, girl, get it together. You have one child, number one. She didn't say she had multiple children. She has one child. Her child is 11 months. So I understand that children at that age may be a lot. Okay, that makes sense, right? But at 11 months, your baby probably should be at least crawling around by now. So it's not like you have to hold them all the time. Babies at that age, you play with them for a little while and they normally just fall asleep eventually. If maybe I'm forgetting those days when my children were 11 months. That's almost one. They normally don't stay up long, and they also take naps, which is really important to think about. So to me, it sounds like she's not really utilizing the time that she has to get time for herself. So for instance, when a baby is taking a nap, that's really a crucial time as a mom, as any parent. Even if dad has the baby, it's important for you to be able to take the baby, put them to sleep during a nap. Let me say it over. It's important that during nap time, you utilize that time, and that's when you can actually do things you need to do around the house. Now, she did emphasize that her husband hasn't taken the baby outside the home, and she hasn't been alone without the baby, except that one time that it happened when they went to Target. So to me, it sounds like she just want to go out without the baby. To me, that I think it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong at all with wanting time away from your kids. Like right now, my children are asleep. This is the time I have so I can do something for myself. I'm actually being able to record for YouTube, trying to stick to my own personal goals. You have to work your way around your children. Like when they're awake, it's really not a lot you can do. But since her baby is so young, it's like 11 months is a good time to be able to do something during nap time. When my kids took nap, listen, first of all, I have 3. Okay. The youngest 2 are close in age. So when they would take a nap when they weren't in school yet, I got so much done. More importantly, I think she's probably just tired. I think she's probably just tired. Like, she sounds like she's frustrated and she's tired, right? So during that time, they even say things like this in the hospital before you leave with your child, is that when a baby naps, you need to be napping. I think one of the biggest things with moms is that we think we have to constantly be doing things all the time, and we don't think about us needing rest until the end of the day, or until like around dinner time when we are getting frustrated and are tired. So when her husband is working, because even though he works at home, you can't really bother him, especially whatever job he has is probably like he can't just go off and do something with the baby. He probably doesn't have a lot of breaks or anything like that. So during that time, she literally needs to pretend that her husband is not home, trying to keep the baby as quiet as possible. Maybe take the baby out. She might be stuck in the house and not even doing any sort of activity. Like, what type of hobbies do you have? Like, I think a lot of people sit on social media and they are scrolling and they may be comparing themselves to other people. But there's a lot of people, there are single moms. Let's use a single mom for example. They don't get that much time away from their kids outside of when they have to go to work. So it's possible that she can do it. I know she can. The thing is, right, we don't really want to put too much on ourselves and think that we can be superwoman and do everything also. But that's up to you to have good communication skills to be able to verbalize that to your husband. Listen, babe, I know you've been working all day, but I need you to take care of the baby. Just for an hour, I need to step out and do such and such. There is nothing wrong with that. I think what she wants is she has unrealistic expectations at this point, honestly. And the reason why I say that is because most men, I'm going to say, this is a general statement, okay? This may not apply to you, but most men are not just coming over, grabbing a baby and heading outside. Most men are just not doing that. Most men love children because children can communicate, they can speak. They can have that conversation with you to let you know what they want, where they want to go and things like that, their needs. They can actually verbalize that. And with a baby, like, you got to listen, you have to look at them and you have to study their cues. And if dad is working all day, he doesn't get to see those things. So it's up to mom to be able to communicate that or to understand it. And that's why we have our children mainly up until a certain age. Dad is better at like when baby's a little older. And I'm pretty sure he cares about his child. He doesn't seem like he's a deadbeat. He provides. He makes sure that the house is taken care of, that you guys have somewhere safe to live. And after work, he does come. Even if he comes and just looks at you, take care of the baby, he's obviously admiring what you do all day. So I just really think it's just a lack of communication. That's what I noticed. There is something I did want to point out though. There's actually a few things. It was a lot of red flags in here. All right, so I'm gonna start with one. One of them that I noticed was that she said that when she didn't get what she want from him, like taking a baby or having free time, she would have outbursts. And basically she is not able to manage her emotions. And that is one of our downfalls as being a woman. We have to learn to control our emotions. Having outbursts is petty, and it's childish. It's something that we need to work on as women in general, especially when we're in relationships and we have to work with this person. You have to live with this person every day. She's married. This is her husband. It's not like somebody you just see and you can just leave and, go about your day. You have to live with it. You have to lay down with this person at night. So the communication, like the level has to be at a certain point where you don't have to start hollering and screaming or just, you're not even communicating anything. That's what a toddler would do. So in this case, I think she needed some sort of mentorship or needed somebody to be able to talk to her and let her know, like, there's a better way to handle this. Because he obviously doesn't hate his child. He may not even know how to be a father in that way. So I've decided to talk to my husband about it to kind of like get his point of view of what he thought. And he said, what did he say to me? He said one thing that she could have done, right? So if you're having this problem, this could be a solution for you. And what's crazy is that this is an easygoing solution. It's not hard. It's not stressing. It doesn't even take a whole lot of words to do. But what he said is that she should have took the baby after he got off work and then while he was playing a video game. And she should have walked into wherever he plays the game at and take the baby and sit the baby on his lap. And he also said, like, give the baby like a little fake controller or something like that, and just walk off, like, especially after you've asked him, like, do you mind watching the baby? If he's ignoring you, or maybe he didn't hear you, or maybe he's like, not right now or something. That's an easy way to just hand off the baby without an argument. Like, what is he going to do? He's not going to just throw the baby. He's just going to be like, oh, like, that's what he's going to do. And it's his baby. What's going to happen? What's the worst that can happen, right? We know the worst that can happen. But we don't want to think like that. But honestly, that. When he said that to me, I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even think of that. Like, coming from a man, like, hearing what she should have done. Basically, like, I think if she would have done that, it could have solved a lot of their problems. He told me also that over time, like, once a man learns, like, oh, I can do this with the baby, they get excited about it and they will continue to do it. So one thing he brought up is that one thing he might do after having the baby during that gaming session, especially if he was winning or something like that, he would just go grab the baby when it's time to play the game. And I was like, he would do that? You think he would just go and he was like, yeah, that's something a guy would do. And it's funny because my husband is a gamer. So I can relate to, like, not the specific scenario, but I can relate to, like, the guy playing games after work, or, not spending tons of time with the kids and stuff like that. Like, I understand. So that's why, like, when I read this, I can kind of like see through it and see what some of the solutions could be. Like what he said, that's a gem. Put the baby on his lap and just walk away. It's funny because I brought up this book to him. I had read the kids a book the other day, and who would think I would get advice on parenting, like, from a children's book, but whatever. So the book was called, I think it was called like Saturday Evening or something like that. But the book was about like a family of bears, okay? And dad had been at work all day long, right? And dad came home from work, and while he was coming in, the baby was being washed in the sink in the kitchen. And so dad came over, he did the same thing as this post I'm reading. He came over and he was just watching mom wash the baby. He was talking to the baby, laughing, giggling, whatever. And mom goes, "Here, dad." So she hands over the towel so he can, I guess, continue to wash the baby. And she says, "I'll be right back. I have to go to the restroom." And of course dad says, "Okay, sure." So I flipped the page, and mom is in the bathtub taking a bubble bath. And I'm just like, I never thought of that one. That's good advice. I think I'm going to do that. So luckily my children are older, so I don't have to do that anymore. I know how to, like, get time to myself to do that. But it's like, you have to be clever. Like, when it comes to parenting and relationships, like, my husband says this all the time, like, they don't have to be hard. Stop looking at everything so, like, rough around the edges. Like, it doesn't have to be so strict. It doesn't have to be what you've seen on social media. It doesn't have to be what you've seen on TV, or how your mom's relationship is, or your dad's, or your brothers, or cousins, or whoever. It's no relationship is exactly the same. Sometimes you gotta bend the rules, you know. Sometimes you gotta be like, here you go, dad, take the baby, sit him on his lap, and just walk off. Sometimes it doesn't take an entire long drawn out conversation about how you need time to yourself and most men don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear you complaining, especially after a long day of work. Most men, if they are the sole provider for their home, it's because they want their woman or their wife, they want them to have a stress-free life. They're doing it so at least one of you cannot have to work. That's really why. They want you to be stress-free. So when they want time with you, they can have it without complaint, without any sort of argument or anything like that. So it's really sad because, like, when I got to the end and I heard like he wanted to get a divorce because she was comparing the time spent with family members to her own husband that lives with her and sees the baby every single day. And he wanted a divorce after she did a whole nother outburst again. It's like, stop it. We have to stop this. This is something that we had to stop doing. I believe that me and my husband did argue a lot. But we didn't argue about me needing time to myself. I can say that's something we never really argued about. I always knew how to make time for myself, and I always knew how to get away because I'm a track star. Okay. I know how to run. I could get away and get me some time. Okay. I'm not going to be sitting anywhere depressed, sad, held back. If I need to do something, I'm going to get it done. And I don't let my children hold me back from it. I can't. You know, there are some things I literally can't do because I have kids, but the things that are possible, like, I know when to squeeze in time. But make a long story short, I really just think it's about communication. That's really the biggest thing, is communication. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom because, like I told you, she actually put an edit. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here, because I want you to be able to see it too. If you didn't click on the link, if you want to, you can click on the link and go to it yourself. But I'm just going to put it up here on the screen as well. Oh my God, I'm zooming into myself. Okay. Oh no. There you go. So I'm going to zoom into the part where I am right now. Here. So this is the edit. All right, I'm going to read. So this is where she came back on a separate day and she edited it. And as you can see, she actually put here that she did edit it. Because at first I'm like, I don't remember reading the rest of this. This is something else. So it says, I wanted to update everyone. We spoke last night and he said he is just tired of waiting for the other shoe to drop and me to explode. So he's basically knowing that she's going to snap at any moment all the time. And that itself is stressful. So he already has to work. He may not love his job as much as we want our men to love their job. So he already may be having some sort of stress. Work is just stressful in general. And then he has to get off work and has to deal with her being mad all the time. Like I told you, men hate that. They hate when we are stressed and we basically put it on them. It says, I definitely agree that I have explosive anger. So, you know, the first step is what? Acceptance. I definitely agree that I have explosive anger, but also think that it is because I never get to shut off being a mom or get a break. So, girl, what? I'm sorry. Somebody needs to hold her accountable. Child, the moment you had a child, you will never stop being a mom. You can't shut it off. It's not a switch. It's not even when I'm out in person with other people and I'm nowhere near my children, I know that I'm still a mom. I know that, how do I get this out of here? I know that I'm still a mom. I know that I'm still representing my children and my husband. I know that the role that I have is way bigger than me. So like thinking that you can shut it off, like she needs a reality check. You can't shut off being a mom. She says, or get a break. So she is a new mom, so maybe she just doesn't understand. But get a break, I understand that. But like I said, that is a communication thing. And also, you just got to learn to be clever. She says, I've probably left the house by myself 9 times without the baby for less than 2 hours. So in the beginning, she said 1. And now she says 9. So I don't know if this is 9 after this post, or she was exaggerating when she said 1. And this is one of the reasons why I say it's always 2 sides to each story. It's always 2 sides to each story. And sometimes you might have to hear the other side of the person, but I can like almost guarantee you that she's not the type to talk to him often. She doesn't tell him things. She just snaps when she's battling with whatever it is in her mind. So that's one thing we have to do. We have to stop holding things in all the time, because that it just eventually it is going to explode. It's going to come out, It's like a bag of popcorn. Starts out as those little kernels, and over time it's going to burst open. Like, you have to talk. And out of all the people, it doesn't seem like she has a lot of support. So her husband should be the person that she should be talking to, like, every day. Like, I talk to my husband all the time. Even when I think it's stupid stuff or it's silly, I just tell him anyway. I don't even care anymore. I just tell him. You have to be able to talk. I left yesterday to get coffee. Okay, that's good. Listen, that's called a break, coffee break. Trying to do something for myself. You weren't trying, you did something for yourself. You went and got coffee. Got to change your verbiage here, okay? And he gave the baby Tylenol while I was gone. Okay, hopefully the baby needed it. And he didn't just give the baby Tylenol. It's kind of weird. But when I came back, the baby was asleep. Obviously. Okay. Makes sense. Yes, the baby would be asleep. So I'm going to go down to this other part here so you can see this. This is where I am now. I'm on the last paragraph. She says, he said that he doing his, or I think it's a typo. He said that he's doing as much as he can. And I told him, I posted on an anonymous forum and people agreed he can do more. Girl, that was a horrible idea. You should have never told him that. So one thing I've learned is that you can't tell everyone your business. And if you did, you cannot tell your husband. He's going to be upset. Like, are you trying to make him mad by telling him, listen, I got advice from strangers and they said that you need to do a better job? Like, what, girl, what? Come on, stop playing with me. That is, oh Lord, let me keep my mouth quiet. Okay. He said none of your husbands have a job like his. I told you he was mad. He said none of your husbands have a job like his, LOL. I understand this is delusional. We have a therapy appointment this weekend. But my main focus is making sure my baby doesn't see me explode in anger again. And making sure our baby never feels like a burden or a chore as much as possible, considering his father is like this. Oh my goodness, she learned nothing. You learned nothing. Woman. Have you ever seen, I'm going to get rid of this. Girl, I can't. I wish she was my friend so I could talk to her in person. But Have you ever seen that clip? I seen it on YouTube, and somebody put it on as like a meme. And it's like this skeleton guy. He goes, just like a woman. I didn't. That was my chair. My chair is really squeaky. But that's how I feel right now reading this. Just like a woman. Oh my God, this is so sad. I just want to cry for her. No, she needs a hug, and she needs someone to tell her the truth. Like, your man is not gonna be kumbayaing with the baby. He's just not. That's not what men do. And the ones that do are anomalies, okay? They are different. Okay? They are not the same. And my husband like dancing with Emmanuel when he was younger. Our other two, he like rolling on the floor with them. They played a lot of wrestling, you know. But that's because he's different, you know. He's the anomaly, you know. Not all men are like that. So there's one thing I've learned, right? And it's like, there is this saying that if you get a man and he has money, then he's not going to be able to give you time, which is also your children are included in that statement. If you get a man and he doesn't have money, he's going to have time to give you. It's normally one or the other. So if you get a man and he has a really good income, he's able to provide for you, your baby, your home, all your bills. He's going to have to do what? Work. Which means he's not going to have a lot of time. So the time that he does have, honestly, you need to cherish that, because if you were to die, you would be so hurt. And you would be alone and struggling, and then you would be working. And then it's the opposite. If you get a man and he doesn't have a lot of money, you may not be able to get everything you want. You might have to work. You probably will have a 50-50 relationship. And you won't be saying any of this stuff. Or maybe you will, but you still have to go to work. But he'll have all the time in the world. And then you'll be complaining about that too. Because that's what happens. Women, we just complain. We complain. Like, I think some of us have more control over our emotions. But in the back of our mind, we do think like, I wish he would do this more. Oh, I'm grateful for this, but if he could do this, that would be so much better, you know. But we don't verbalize that stuff because it kind of has an air of selfishness, like, and not being grateful for what's given to you. So the women that do have control over their emotions, girl, you got it. You're gonna have a long relationship. But I just wanted to come to share that article with you. If you want to go look at it yourself, like I said, the link is in the chat and it's also in the description section if you want to go look at that. And also, if you get some time, stop by and purchase my mug. I have this mug in 2 different sizes. I have 11 and 15 ounces, but either one, they're awesome. They're really good quality. I wish I could show you up close without, oh, let me see if I can turn it around so you can see, because I think I can like mirror it. Let's see. Ooh, how do I do it? I don't know. I knew there was a way. I guess I gotta put my glasses on. Let's see. Video flip front facing camera. No, I don't want to flip it. I guess I can't mirror right now. But I remember that being an option. Well, I don't see it as an option right now. So just make sure you click on a link and then you'll be able to go and purchase this mug. So thank you so much for coming to my live video. If you're seeing this later on, thank you again, and make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel already. Thank you so much, and if you don't know what to do, just be naturally you. Bye.